Good morning. I know I've got my sound on because I'm checking my mute unmute button and it's not muted. No picture. Does that mean, ooh, are you seeing me? Interesting. Yeah, that's what I came up with. Well, that's interesting. Good morning. And what you can hear is the dogs are barking. There is a person walking past with their dog. So my doggy is barking at that, and the neighbour's doggy across there is barking at that, and etc. So just let that craziness die down a bit. So let me see what I've got. Morning from Perth. So hi, Lauren. And that was the no picture one there. So can you hear me now? I'm just moving through the messages now. I'll get to some messages later. I don't sort of hit straight into them. What you will notice, good morning, Raywin. And, I love it. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I have there some more questions. Hi, how are you, Ashton? And, there you are. So good. You can see me. Just verifying that. And hi again. I'm just going to quickly scroll down these at the moment. More messages and messages, requests. That's good. Thank you. So you're on the right page with mytimetv.live. And I'm Ros Boundy, psychic medium. And usually with the Tuesday morning ones, we actually have Leanne Winston. Oh, I said that wrong, didn't I? It's Leanne Winston, psychic medium, but she's not able to come on today. She had an appointment she couldn't break that happened to be crossing over with this, like as in not long away. So it wasn't possible to have her on this morning. So, good. So, yes, we can see. You can see me. That's good. That's good. That's good. And all these, did that one show up? Yeah. Good. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I had the little experience this morning with the daily live stream that I actually had my mute button on. So what I had to do was start again almost. So this morning's went for a bit longer. And in the meantime, I've had a couple of calls, so I'm still feeling like I'm out of breath and being rushed. And what you can tell for this show, as far as with the description goes, and I'm actually going to flip over to my Facebook page to see if the description's in there. What it says is join for an hour of fun and chatting. What we chat about is intuitively decided when we start the live broadcast. It's just like a potluck dinner. So it may even be some tarot cards and reading shared. Sometimes we have got around to it. Most times we do, and other times not. But what I thought I'd share this morning, and I'm going to actually close the Facebook page just so my resources aren't being taken up with too much on the computer. What I'm going to share this morning is, well, it was intuitively given to me as far as I woke up. So I felt a need to pick up the book that I have on my bedside table. And I thought, well, that's fine. Picked it up and started reading from where I'd left off. I'll show it to you in a minute, because really what it follows on from, and been very interestingly, the connection of what is synchronicity and what can happen in our lives at times that you're living through it but not really seeing the bigger picture until afterwards. You know, it's one of those things where aftersight is a really good teacher, because you can look back and think, so that's why that happened. Here are the aha moments in what's happening in the life. And I'm just going to put that down there. I just realised that was on. Actually, that looked pretty good in there instead of a brown door. Sorry, I've slightly changed around the setup a little bit, and it meant the computer has moved further along, further along to show more of the door compared to what is. I like that aspect. of what is there, but it means I'm actually going to be leaning over like that because I have no more room closer to my reading table that is this here. Anyway, getting back to what I will leave that there and see if I can move over a little bit further. Anyway, what really for what we have occurring in our lives at times, there are moments where we actually feel that it's overwhelming and, we have no control, especially when it comes to sudden deaths and incidents like that. Some of you will be aware that a fortnight ago on the Sunday, my ex-husband was killed tragically in a accident where it was his truck and train colliding, and the various progression of incidents from that of who learnt what first and all the rest of it. It's the sudden shock. I mean, we all have our different ways of moving through our grief and how we can handle it and deal with it. But it is it is such a final thing, death. We are born into this life. Well, some would say unwillingly. We are born, and then we need to live this life, and then we have our death in whatever form that is. Now, for some of us in a more aware type of, well, it's not a more aware of, but there are different understandings around what death actually is. I mean, this is part of why I'm describing this, is because it has been a horrible couple of weeks. It was very hard yesterday. It was a tough day because that was the burial. And I'm looking at this from my own perspective and my own understanding. It's not everybody's understanding of what death is. But I work as a psychic medium. I do connect with spirit from the other side. I understand that death in the physical here is not the end of what is life. We do move into a different state, another place and space that is either the other side, what label are we going to give it? The other side, afterlife, heaven, all of that, or even hell for some of them that think that's where they might be going. It could be more fun than heaven. Like, who knows? It's all just something that we have an awareness. I think most people do have an awareness that there is something more than just being this life, this physical body, but it's the learning and the understanding that we put to that that's going to matter for where we are placed in this life. And thank you. Thank you and thank you. And that should show up. Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate that. But it's more for the factor of because of what's being experienced with a lot of people now in the coronavirus, when that first started, escaped, whatever happened at that beginning, there was a start to this. And it's progressed to having the level of restrictions that governments have put on it worldwide of our movements and controlling what may or may not happen. And that gets down to being funerals as well. So for yesterday, yes, it wasn't, numbers were restricted, and there's many people who are experiencing a similar heartache at not being able to actually be part of that close burial factor, of being able to be part of that in its true connection. Yes, I was still there, but watching from the car. And yes, it made it a tough experience, but there was still the after that was able to be shared with my kids and etc. I'm not here to describe all of that in detail. It's just that this is, for me, the first-hand experience of understanding for where others are in what has been our change of whole life structure, where everything's been brought back into being so constricted that many people are experiencing similar feelings and grief patterns, because there's thousands around the world who've died of this virus/disease. as the virus grows into the COVID-19. There's many thousands, and they have similar experiences, none exact the same, but it's still in that connected energy of what is the grief that is happening around and about. So part of that, it's understanding from a different awareness from a self that it's just the physical that we're experiencing here. We've got our soul connection that continues onward. And part of that, thank you. And yeah, look, it is never easy, and each and every one of us is going to go through a slightly different way of experiencing that. But I suppose for me, part of that has been my own understanding of what an afterlife might be, of being able to connect to those who have passed on, to our loved ones. And it takes away the utter sting of it, I suppose, in some respects, even though it's still hard. It certainly was a tough day yesterday. It's still hard. There's still the crying and the grieving and the memories that will trigger, just like that, some tears. And that will take its process as and when it needs to complete. I feel so much lighter for having had that experience, though, and the understanding that I have as I woke to actually see the book that I've had on my bedside table for yonks in a pile. And as I moved back here to Port Elliot, it was brought to the top of the pile. And I didn't really feel the need to actually read it until this morning. And I might actually just put that there on that one and swap it round. So if you can see that, oh, actually it's a bit too high, isn't it? I didn't plan this earlier. This is just, it was an idea that came to mind as I was reading this book. I'm going to share this. So it's the Afterlife Knowledge Guidebook that I've, way back in 2006, probably, that I'd bought this as part of my book nook that I was running as a small business at Kindred Spirit in Harndorf, for anyone that might have been there through that time. It's a manual for the art of retrieval and afterlife exploration by Bruce Moen. Now, as I'm starting to read through that, there's a section that was really interesting this morning around, and I'll get to that in a minute, but it's a section around just relaxing, because that's what it felt like I needed this morning, is just letting go and relaxing and leaving, because this is a lot to do with the out-of-body experience as well. It's not just the afterlife, it's your out-of-body experience of what is the afterlife. I'm looking forward to finishing that book now that it's been brought to my attention as something that I need to be reading now. And I find that the synchronicity of all of that connection as it moves through what the experiences are and will continue to be, because I'm not no way going to predict or say what's going to be the end of it or otherwise. It's moving through what needs to be at this point in time in whatever way it's going to be. So just where did I get to with the messages? Hi, Debbie, how are you? Thank you. Look, it is awesome. What I find with, if we allow ourselves just to be more in tune with what our intuitive nature is, because that's what that, with the energy centers, the chakra centers, and having all of those in balance and alignment, not everybody knows about the chakras and that central connection of the energy centers with what is our energy bodies. Not everybody knows about what is an energy body. Not everybody knows or understands what is, the what is. There's many times where we just do not know what questions we're needing to be asking to find out the answers. Sounds confusing a bit, doesn't it? But it's, that's lovely. There's a few little chats and hellos in the background. That's lovely. So thank you. And hi, Laurie. Anyway. And And I just felt the need, since this book was put before me this morning and I knew that I needed to be doing the show solo, what guidance was I needing? And that's where, you trust what your intuition, what that gut feeling is that you get messages from at any point in the day. We're walking around just sometimes on autopilot, and you just do things automatically without thinking. You have, I suppose, those automatic decisions that you make. I just feel like a coffee, so you go over there, you decide you turn the kettle on, and you get the coffee out, and you put all of that stuff together is like the automatic mojo. And there's those moments where you start, you sort of stand still and think, what am I supposed to be? Well, for me, what am I supposed to be doing? Where was I? And that's where my connection comes in. Look, Spirit, I need to have some guidance here because I've forgotten something, or what was the next step? Or, in situations, sometimes you actually have that, you have those moments where you're held up. I should be seeing what hands I'm using. I talk with my hands a bit, don't I? Should I go like that and hold? It's that connection. I feel that, are we holding up Spirit because we want to make our own decisions, or are we actually listening? Are we tuning in? Are we actually taking that time just to connect with what is our connection, our spiritual center, our soul center? I mean, I like to just sometimes, and I'd just be sitting down and there'd be a split second like that moment where I just go into some little space. It's been something I've done over, I don't know how long, and sometimes it just happens. I don't have to think about it. I just call it my Zen space, and it's a moment of being somewhere else. And I feel that's where I have some connection that gives me that inspiration or the message that comes in for what I'm meant to be doing next. And I'm sure it happens differently for everybody. Now I'm going to have a sip of water. Hang on. Gosh. I reckon I should get a glass instead of doing that thing, shouldn't I? It's a bit noisy, isn't it? Anyway. Oh, hey, Ros, I was typing in the wrong chat. I love the glowing ball. Isn't it gorgeous? Well, that's a good time to remind people. I'm on the mytimetv.live page as the source broadcast page. So if you're watching from one of the other cross-posted pages, which could be Leanne Winston Psychic Medium, or my profile, I think I shared it on the timeline, or Hypnosis Plus with Ros, or Be Love and 5. There's several that we cross-post to, if I've done it right. So make sure that you're on the one that says mytimetv.live, and then I can actually see your comments in the background. Actually, I wonder if there's a link there that I can put. Does it? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Gone somewhere else, haven't I? Gotta go. Oh, we'll see you later, Margaret. You can always catch the replay. It's one of the things with this type of broadcast. It's automatically recorded. It stays in Facebook for as long as I leave it in Facebook. I don't think they kick many off. So you can watch it as replay. Right, I like that. You're in the wrong chat. So sorry about that. I probably forgot to mention that to start with. So now I can't remember where I was. See, there's that pause now that I've got to sort of think, where am I going back to? It's the connection within that inner self. It's actually knowing and trusting that what is coming through for you, even as that gut feeling and that intuition, it can be more than that. It is a lot of the time, it's your angels or your guides or spirit that are actually guiding you, because they can't actually tell you what to do, but they can certainly guide with various things that have popped up in front of us. And at times there are incidences in life where you'll have that full-on head on that stops you full in your tracks, to have that time that you really need to be actually focusing on That connection. Focusing on what is your inner self, what is, like, I mean, what sort of things can it be? In 2014, I had a tumour, bowel cancer tumour. I was trying to think what the heck it was. I mean, that's so long ago, it's 6 years ago now, that it's almost forgotten. But that was a major one of those for me. And it really does bring to mind refocus. I'm obviously being given time that I have to stop and regroup, refocus on, well, obviously something else at that point in time. Because it was a time where, you go into an operating theatre to have a procedure done that, you're not fully knowing what the end result was, what level of, etc. Pre that, I was like, we'll just be taking this section out and everything will be fine. That particular tumour and the cancer will be removed, and etc. And there's follow up. Shouldn't need a bag, and you'll come out in the recovery room. Until afterwards, I had the surprise of my life. There's a bag. I had a stoma that was created. I had the ileostomy bag, and such a shock in the life, because I was, if this what he meant about a bag? We didn't discuss this. I had no idea. Like, it was just all of that regrouping from that type of shock too. I mean, it's just so many. There are things that can be that big, that go like that, and sometimes even the smallest things can feel like it's that, and you need to regroup. What I was, and I'm coming to a point. It's a long story, isn't it? Good morning, Veronica. How are you? Yes. And I've got Dana here as well. I will be getting to some of the messages. I'm just not quite there yet at the moment, so do have some patience. I'm not quite as fast at this as what Leanne is, and that's fine. Now, just read that one. So, Dana, hi, Ros. 2 years from Leanne about the McLean Roadhouse I applied for but haven't heard back. Have you still got it? I'm still feeling it's a yes. I've found over time, just because that's there right at the moment, I have found over time that there's, and this probably is sort of semi-connected to what I'm talking about, it's trusting what your messages are that you're receiving yourself too. And, feel that positivity around it, Dana, so that is what you're telling Spirit. Yes, this is what I want. I've got it. It's mine. And remembering to keep that focus in that positive perspective of it, so that you are moving it forward to being that result. And I think sometimes that's where, what we actually put to Spirit, we need to actually be positive about too. Not that I don't want, because they don't hear the I don't want, it's the want. And that's what you'll get, even though you've got the I don't. So it's just always feel that I've got it in the positive sense, because we, as our humanness, we do look at things as black and white. It's what we're conditioned to think and feel, that it is a one or the other. Whereas really it's just, that's what it is, and we're having our levels of experience along that gradient that is just, this is what you need to be experiencing now, or it's this, and we see it as that this or that, when it's just an experience that we're learning from. So think of it as in the positive. So, but part of what I was doing this morning with my reading was actually out of this book. It's to do with the relaxing. Now, especially since it was such a tough day yesterday, and got home and wanted to just turn off, but I couldn't relax. Not really, because there were still the experiences of the day yesterday that were moving through my mind, hence my body. Okay. And what I really enjoyed, and what really did bring me to some form of focus, now you may be seeing some of these pages or not, I'll tip it round. And I thought, well, I'm going to take you through a slightly different experience this morning, if you want to. And it is direct from this book. And it's of course, what because it is a workbook. As you can see, it's a guidebook, which means it's a workbook. It is a manual, right? So it's got instructions, and part of this, in these first few pages of the chapter, there is the section that's talking about the deep breathing exercise. Now, he's labelled it the 3 relaxing breath exercises. Now, I'm going to turn that off. I can see that the camera's having a bit of an issue with the focus, so I'll turn that off. See my dolphins? I love dolphins. That's why I chose to come back to the ocean, to live next to the ocean again. Beautiful space and place. So what I felt that I would like to do with each of you, if you want to indulge me, is take you through this exercise. Like, it is actually a script. And if you remember, there's been many times where both Leanne and I have encouraged you to do deep breathing. Just take the deep breaths and move into that space of taking the deep breaths. Focus on what you're doing with your breaths. Now, for many things that are in our lives, there's times that we can really need to do that relaxing, and people tell just relax, and we find it just so hard to do. So I thought, why not just take you guys through the same experience like that I've read here as the experience of moving into a deep relaxing state. I mean, there's some preamble to how he describes how it got to being called what he calls it, and writing a script for it, and then practicing it. And I can feel, because I'm talking so much, I'm getting a dry throat again. So I will be taking extra time to speak through this one with you. Okay? Oh, I like that. So you woke up a couple of nights ago with someone standing over you. Aha. What we'll do is we'll go through just this relaxing exercise. I'm going to read it from what is the script, if you can see that on that page. This camera might be better. I'm just going to read through it. Don't know how long it takes, 5 minutes. You'll get to close your eyes if you're following along and see how much more relaxed you might be afterwards. So what do you think of that? Anyway, I'm going to do it anyway, my show. Good morning, Lily. How are you? So find yourself in a nice comfy spot. With any of this type of breathing exercise, then it is usually recommended not to lay down, or you might fall asleep. I don't know whether you'd fall asleep at, 11 o'clock in the day? Who knows? But just make yourself comfortable so you can go through this as a breathing exercise. It's all it is. It's a relaxing breath work exercise type thing. So what you're actually doing is to close your eyes and work through this, because closing your eyes removes that visual distraction. I don't know whether you're going to be able to stop hearing things, because I want you to hear what I'm saying. So that's a bit of a dumb idea, isn't it? But to work through this as just relaxing your breath so that you can feel your body start to relax and have that slowing down, slow the pace a bit. And in that process for yourselves, if you're able to allow the intuitive channel just to open, and you may even, whilst going through the breaths, receive for yourself what might be some messages for these questions that you're already asking. Right, so just as the last one that's come up here, have felt spirit around me the last few days. What's the message they're trying to tell me, please? So have, as part of your intention in working through this shared exercise, that you'll be able to hear any answers to what you're asking even now in that chat stream. So we'll just give it a go. So in your beautiful, just comfortable sitting position, recliner chair, whatever. Just feel comfortable. So take this, and I'm going to read it directly from this script. I should actually have it up there almost. But this is the 3 deep relaxing breaths exercise. As you get ready to begin this exercise, adjust the volume setting before you start so that you can comfortably and easily hear and understand my voice. You'll already have noticed I've slowed down my voice. You may do this exercise either sitting or lying down. So just do your adjustments. When you're ready to begin, set your intention to be relaxed. And then please close your eyes. To begin this exercise, move your body into a comfortable, relaxed position in your quiet space. In a moment, I will ask you to begin a long, slow, deep inhale and continue as I count from 1 to 6. Then, without stopping or holding your breath, begin a long, slow exhale and continue as I count back down to 1. If you feel the urge to change from inhaling to exhaling or exhaling to inhaling before I complete the count, slow down the pace of your next breath. Begin slowly inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Begin slowly exhaling. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe normally. Again, inhale slowly as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Begin slowly exhaling as I count. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe normally. Begin slowly inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Begin slowly exhaling. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe normally. Continue these deeply relaxing breaths at your own pace, while you mentally count from 1 to 6 with each inhale and then back to 1 with each exhale. As you continue your deep breathing, relaxing breaths, focus your attention on how it feels of its slow, relaxing pace. You breathe normally as you focus your attention of the feeling of being relaxed. And then you take in more deep, relaxing breaths without the mentally counting. You just feel the slow pace of these deep, relaxing breaths. So as you get back to your normal, regular breathing, just keep the focus on the breath just for a moment longer to feel how it felt, how your body is feeling, how much more relaxed it's actually feeling, and how even the mind isn't doing all that chitter chatter like it was before we started. And that's all I'm at the moment with this book, but it's certainly going to be something that I'll be practicing to be able to move into more of what this guidebook is going to show me and teach me in being able to search more into that afterlife connection, especially as what I'm already doing and knowing for myself in the training that I've done will be expanded in how that access might grow into something different or just in more depth, or even if it's just more self-confidence or trusting that intuitive nature that we all have, trusting myself, that inner self, that what is there as my soul connection, as my soul, is to be trusted, absolutely trusted. So I hope you've enjoyed that mini exercise of what I can bring you this morning. It is what Spirit guided me towards showing you and sharing with you. And I am feeling that there probably will be more of that. Maybe not as part of this Tuesday's Intuitive Chat with Leanne, because we do tend to have the interaction that is in the moment when we do get together with our show doing this. As this is in the moment still, but it certainly was something I was guided to be sharing with you this morning, because things have, and it's just 11:11 right now on my computer. Love that the angels are with us. It is where we need to be trusting in what our connection is. We really do have our guidance and angels around us at all times, and the spirits that others here have even asked about, like you have, Emma, and who's around, who is it? Well, that's part of what you do. That's that one. Sorry, there was one that I was looking at, I saw that was around the other spirit too. So having a spirit close too. I'm just saying, did I put that one up too, Debbie? A message from my son, from my mum. He's feeling lost with all that's happening in the world. I'm just feeling with that, just that instant for me, having messages for your son from my mum. I'm feeling that there feels to me to be a drawing in from what is for himself, that he can invite him to actually connect with your mum personally and just chat with her. I'm just feeling there's the openness that, she is there with him to chat at any point in time. It doesn't have to be through anyone else. It can be direct. even though asking on behalf of your son, it's a wonderful expression of love for your son in wanting to have that answer for him. But I'm feeling it, so much of what we are able to do for ourselves, we're missing out on because of that lack of trust in self. So being knowing that you have the ability to be able to connect yourself with those who are on the other side, with your loved ones, just talk to them, chat with them, and spend that time. Do that exercise that I've just run you through, as far as, if you need any more help with it, sure, ask questions and book a time with me. We can go through it and all the rest. On that more one-to-one. But it's, yes, isn't it? And wow, like you look at the synchronicities of what happens in life. We don't see it at the time, but sometimes looking back on it, we can. And for you there, as far as helping your son goes, Debbie, it's sometimes it really is just pointing them in the right direction, using the compass. We had compass in the card spread this morning as part of our role, just making sure that we are facing the right way, having the right perspective, and learning. Sometimes it does just take that thing that gives us the aha moment to realize, oh, I can do that. Take the time when you're actually having the chats with those who are passed over, of your loved ones, even the thought that, when they pop into your mind, that is a connection. And then that inner chatter, that is a connection. The conversations that you're actually having with your loved ones in the mind is connecting with them. You are communicating with them. What you probably need to be doing that you may not be doing because it's a need that we want to actually hear something back using our senses. I want to hear you. I want to know the message for sure. What are you saying to me? That we actually put that bit of a block, we're putting a bit of a veil in front of taking the time, just listen. Spend that time just in allowing that impression of an answer to come back from them. What are you hearing as their response to what you're talking to them about or asking them? Look, there's times since both my dad and mum have passed on that you have the inner chatter, God, Dad, what do you reckon around this? And you get that answer straight away. Now, that in itself, I might not be hearing that as something audible, but I just know what his answer was. It's even just in that knowing. Trust that for yourself, that's what your communication is telling you. You are getting your answers back. And having that conversation with those who are your loved ones on the other side. Or be open to it. Test it out. Give it a go. Practice it. And that exercise I did with the breathing. There's many different ways of getting your relaxing happening, but it really does help a lot more by having that state of being in the body, that your body is relaxed. When your body is relaxed, your mind will be relaxed. When your mind is relaxed, so will your spiritual connection be. Well, that's been my experience anyway. So hopefully that's going to be helpful for you. And look, there's, as much as there is so many different psychic mediums and spiritualists and people who do this type of work almost as what's seen as a gift or automatic, it still takes practice with absolutely every single one of us, and we still all have our own independent and individual ways of creating our connection. Each of them is valid, and there might be a slightly different slant that you want to put on how you relax yourself and how you let go of the monkey mind and being able to just connect. When you practice that enough and create that openness and intention to have the connection happen, as much too as the other side of it, tending to turn it off when you're getting too much of it. because you can do that. Leanne and I have spoken about that before too. All of it is possible. We all have that ability to be able to do that. It just takes practice. It's the knowing, it's the learning how, because it's not automatic. We're so conditioned in what we're brought up with sometimes that it's just knocked out of us before we even get to the 1-year-old. We're born with it because that's where we came from. We've come into this experience in a body that's needing to learn and grow to take it to the next step once we're back on the other life, afterlife path again. It's all part of what that flow is. So now I know there's probably some that might still like to have some answers to questions or would like to have a card drawn or anything. We do have a few more moments that we can do that type of thing too, if it's what you like, if it's what you're desiring. So if there is someone with a burning question there who would like to have a card or just have an opinion, put your opinion there and we can just have a quick chat about that even. The setup in how this show is structured is not ever set. It's not in concrete. We can do what we like. And if anyone really would like to be popping in as a guest, put your hand up and I can send the guest link. I can put it on the open page if needed. It's just, we go with the flow. That's the whole idea of being an intuitive chat, isn't it? So if there's anyone that would like to have a card, put your hand, I would just say #card or something like that. Or it probably is a good time for me to mention I've got a card reading course that I'm starting next week because I forget all this marketing stuff, I tell you. But I haven't got it set up ready to go. I'm just going to go find that while somebody can actually, I just put that. If you'd like to put a question there, I'm just going to find where I've got that little JPEG file with my card reading course opportunity that you can sign up for, and I've just got to find what I called it now. And I think it might be this one. Let's see if it is. I'll tell you in a sec. Oh, it's taking some time filling up the screen. Hang on. There it is. I'll solo that one while I'm getting seeing some of your comments. Now this, and I'll do it. Actually, how do I do that? Don't solo. See, all this nifty stuff that can be done, I can do it that way again. Oh, wrong way. So I'm still in the corner. So what that is, and here is another one that I've been told by, but yes, I need to be doing my course, doing some courses too. And this is the course I want to put forward too. This is my course. It's just reading your cards, but an intuitive way. As I've been doing my card readings daily, it's been over a year now, using the Be Live. I don't use the guidebook, and I mention that every time. So I'd like to share that experience in teaching how to actually let go of the reliance on guidebooks and move it into your intuitive reading abilities. So that's what it is. The first week would be discovering the different types of cards, and if you've got some, we'll share them. The second week will be choosing your deck and cleansing them and getting to know them. So that's becoming more familiar with what deck you're choosing to use for your readings. After that second week, we've got the third week. There are different ways of reading them. The spread that I use is not the only way. And then after that, on the fourth week, we'll actually create the reading so that you can, and practice, creating your own reading, and all of it being in a Zoom meeting in that platform. It certainly means that you're going to be able to have interactive fun with it. I haven't set a limit to what class size I'll have. I probably will have to, and full transparency as far as it goes, it's the first course I've created and going to be doing. It's been my intention for years to do this type of a course and in this manner, is via Zoom or something similar. Well, I've chosen Zoom. And for most, you may have experienced Zoom meetings or webinars or that sort of thing before. So it's easy peasy. You click a link and you're in, that type of thing. So I'll be putting the link to that because I haven't quite got it, as in the welcome and registering and paying form. I've got it nearly created in my Google Docs. I'll put that link as soon as it's ready today, and keep an eye out for it. I'll put it in this chat stream as well as on my own page, Ros Bounty page. Okay, so we'll get to these and I'll turn that on, and I can start to smell smoke. Some burning off happening, I think. Now, Ashton, so I think yours, right, Veronica, yours is the first one that's in that message since the Emma's there. Right now, I'm just going down as to what I'm seeing. Oh, hi, dear. How are you? Just saw you there. Hello. Oh, hang on. Here's me. I've got cards in hand. Hello. I'll put them there. I'll put them down. I'm just going to move down with what I can for the rest of this show today. I may get to the finish of it or I may not. So, Veronica, you'd like to know how John is going. So, how's John going? I'm going to actually ask him to give me a card as well. I'm actually getting the feeling of a happiness. So, there's a lightness of spirit. I'm getting a number 2. So, has he been gone for a time that is a multiple of 2 or something as a date? I mean, I don't. Here's me saying trust what you're getting and all the rest, and here's me almost about to apologise. I don't get that. Stop that, isn't it? It really is. Stop that. So here's a card that I am just in that mind. Was he a young man when he actually passed over? Because that's what he's saying. He feels like he's a young man. And was he into books? Or look for that's the literal meaning of what the Lenormand is as far as the books go. So I'm feeling that it's almost like, don't worry about him. He's doing what he loves. He's actually studying further into what is the next plan that he's moving into for the next life, if you understand that. So that's just what I'm receiving. It's what I'm giving. Okay, I'm going to try and do these relatively quickly because of, there's not a great deal of time left. Not that we're limited by time, but we are, because we make it that, don't we? So does that mean anything for you? And I don't want to go too far down. Oh, he was 68. Right. So how long has he been passed for, Veronica? Because I don't want to sort of lose my place. Sometimes the stream in the background of this can actually whiz off and you lose who you're actually talking about too. So we do have some delay in how quickly the comments come back. So I might not be able to keep on with that as a full type reading. If you've ever watched Jay Lane, she does it so easily. If you ever watch Leanne on Wednesday night, she does it so easily. I still feel like a little babe in the woods with this stuff when it's by myself. But we all start from somewhere. We need to practice. And I've given it a go. So there you go. So hopefully that meant something for you. I do feel a lightness and a happiness, Veronica. So that's just more the summary. So you want to know how he's going, and that one flipped out for the next one. So Ashton, I'm not sure what your question was. Whoops, I was on that. How far back was your question? Oopsie. So this card that's on the floor is for you because I've put that we can see you. Oh, what's your question? Maybe you don't know the question to get the answer. Hang on. Got to take a dive down under the cupboard. Ugh. Oh, peekaboo. Back. Oh, this is it. Wow. The labyrinth. So for you, Ashton, I can't seem to find what your question was, but it's a labyrinth. And the labyrinth is about discovering, exploring the directions and the path. It's not so much being stuck by being on a path that you feel that you're stuck on. It's about exploring the alternatives. even if you need to be moving back the other way to retrace steps to actually find, hang on, I need to go back to this point and then move forward so that you're on that right path. Because right in the centre of that, you do have, well, I don't consider it the prize, it's the resting space of taking the breath, doing those breaths and relaxing. And then you'll find the way out more easily than you found the way in a way. Do you know what I mean? So it is that time and space that you need to be giving yourself as well. And I still can't find where your question was, so I will keep moving on from that then because I can't find it. What was your question? Oh dear. No, I can't find it. So, and you haven't rewritten a question, so that's fine. But that if you are seeing this, the labyrinth is it, and you don't feel that you can't ask other people for help either, because the path isn't totally hidden. It's visible to you and others as well. Okay, so we'll move on. Love one from your mum for Mother's Day. So I'll call in your mum. So Laurie's mum. Whoops, clear them. Forgot that nearly. I do the 3 knocks. It's what I was actually taught, and look at how that camera's taking some time focusing with the dolphin there. It almost looks like it's swimming, isn't it? Pulsing. That's very interesting. So here you've got one. Oh, have you got some travel planned? Or you're going to be travelling very soon? Feel as light as the wind. I'm feeling the breeze with this ship, because the ship in this, it is about travel as far as the general aspects of what the Lenormand cards will tell you. It's guidance. It's taking something more than just an overnight bag. It is taking, pack a suitcase. You're going to be going on either a holiday or traveling for a little while that's going to need that preparedness. So even if it's not in the physical sense of taking the holiday, it's spending that time. Be prepared to spend that time in a different space and place that feels like it's a holiday. So that's what I'm getting for you from your Mother's Day, for your mum for Mother's Day. So even if you're actually, plan a holiday, it doesn't mean that you have to take it straight away. It does feel to me like it is about a holiday. Let's see if the dolphins go pulsing again. Whoops. And Emma, here's a card. Yeah, I'm getting a card for you. So I've cleared them, and a card for Emma. And just look at it from what you're receiving from the card too, not just what I'm receiving from it. And that's a level of commitment. I'm actually feeling that you need the 2 cards. And with the well, that level of commitment, it's going to be something that you need to decide really how deep you want to go with that level of commitment. So dig into your resources, and actually in that inner being, the message that I'm getting for you is pretty much it might take a little bit of work to dig the deep, to dip into that depth of your resources. But it's how much commitment are you willing to put toward yourself in taking that dive, putting that work, putting that little wheel into action to get out what you need. And I do feel this is for yourself. So probably it is letting go of the expectations from others and actually start that inner work for yourself. Okay. So that's that one for you, Emma. And we'll go to Laurie and see what we can pull for Laurie. I'm intrigued with what you've got in your little avatar, your picture there, because it's not big enough to see exactly what it is. Tickles my fancy. Leaves the imagination there. It looks like a tripod or a totem. Lovely to know. Whoa! So you've got some travel happening or planning as well. I'm actually feeling that's more on the etheric level. There's some work happening within you that you're going to actually do well, and probably very relevant for the fact that I've pulled out the Afterlife book, or Spirit pulled it out for me. It's not really to do with the afterlife. I'm actually feeling that for you, this is about traveling, out of body traveling, and needing to start exploring that. don't be frightened by it, but certainly learn or ask the questions of people that you can trust in teaching or you teaching someone else. There's a connection, and I really do feel quite strongly that this is for those out-of-body experiences and traveling that you can do. A fantastic field to explore. It's not something that I've done knowingly, as a deliberate function. It has happened, but almost by accident. It's those moments where you think, wow, what happened there? I'm feeling this is a more deliberate learning process for you and traveling that path. So have fun. Share what you might have come out of that. So, Laurie, right, darling, and a card in a dilemma on whether to move or not. It can be a scary thing. Having myself recently experienced that dilemma several months ago and deciding and take the move. I'm feeling there is a positiveness around it, but we'll see what the cards pull up for you. Okay. Oh, this travel one, you're moving. Sorry, that's what it feels like. Let's do another. Open the key to a new door. Sorry. Is that okay? Does that help you? That's where I like the Lenormand, because they do tend to be very direct. Are having any more children? So that's where the question was. How come I didn't see that before, or you've put that there since? Don't know. No, that was there. Look, sometimes we don't see for looking, do we? So for you, Ashton, here we go. I'm feeling that the children, there is a yes. So you're wanting more than one. Whoops. Flew out. Hang on, I'll take a dive. Oh, it's hard. It's too close to my feet, which means you're probably going to see me ass. Hang on. Ugh. That's the good thing of having rollers on the chair. Hang on. Now I've got to get my chair back. Ugh. There we go. Oh, a dog. Oh, I think you're going to have a fur baby too. Have you got a fur baby already? I'm getting 3. Are you wanting 3 more children? Or is that one, or is a fur baby going to be included as part of the bundle? God, goodness. Yeah, I'm actually getting 3 soon. Well, unless you want triplets. No, look, 3 is the number I'm seeing you having. Will they be soon? Well, certainly the first of. Have you children already? No, you don't. No, you don't. It will be soon. But prepare, like I'm just getting the don't be in too much of a hurry factor. So just allow the enjoyment of the lovemaking to be what it is. Experience that that connection before even thinking, it's got to result in a baby. As soon as you start thinking that way, your body's going to tense up and it'll start being difficult. Just have the fun of allowing all that you can experience as really enjoyable, loving relationship in the lovemaking, in creating the perfect, the conditions that are going to just create at the right time what is going to be your family. And I certainly do feel there's, dogs are just such loving, trusting beings, aren't they? So I do think you're probably going to have a fur baby first in some ways, and that's going to be part of the welcome of what is going to be your extended family. Enjoy, just enjoy. I think we've answered for you, haven't we? For this question, Emma, who the spirit is and the message that they have for you, I'm just going to encourage you to actually go through that relaxing technique that I'd shared earlier. And at the time that you do that, also have a notebook and pen close by just to write the first impressions as soon as you're back into because you can still be really relaxed and receive the messages. You don't have to be in a trance state or any sort of thing at all. Just allow that relaxed state to bring forward whatever your impressions and feelings and messages are. And you may get a name and who that spirit is that's around you, because you do have. So loves that you just opened up a whole new realm to explore. Oh yes, and you are going to really enjoy the exploration, I tell you. Yeah, you will. Certainly there. Now we've got Karen. Oh, I know I'm going to go a bit later than what the hour goes, but do you lot mind? I don't. I don't mind if it goes for further than an hour. And for those who are coming in late, you might get the opportunity to still have a card reading even though it's past the hour. I have a little bit more time today. So, whoops, and there's one that just showed itself. It showed itself, so that's what you're getting. And who am I reading? This is Karen's. So here you've got the bridges. So what I'm sensing from that one is, the comments are starting to scroll off. There's a decision that you're wanting to make, you're not quite sure about, and, it doesn't matter. Timing actually doesn't matter. It'll still be the result that you actually want, but whether you're wanting it to be sooner or later. So, instead of just reacting to that, look, make up your mind. Here's another good reason. I'm sure that relaxed breathing exercise was one that was meant to be for today. Take a little bit of extra time just to do that for 3 or 4 minutes, and you'll feel the energy of which way you want to decide whether you want to do it now or later. So it's something that's been on your mind. You've had a bit of a time trying to decide. Just go through that process again a little later. And even if you want to write down what your impressions are afterwards too, like I've just suggested to Emma. It's not so much decision, it's bridges, but just when do you want to cross that bridge? So sooner or later. And it will be decided for you if you don't decide yourself. Isn't it nice to have that decision yourself instead of having it made for you? So, yeah, Karen, it doesn't matter now that you've popped in a bit late. It doesn't matter. So, Veronica, so you'd actually had that, referring back to that reading of when he passed, 3 weeks. Right, okay. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, the thing with some of this is that the responses, because of the type of platform that we use, this is B.Live. With any of the live streaming platforms, it still has to go to Facebook and then back from Facebook to the B.Live that I'm using so that I see it. It creates a time delay of when you're typing it to when I see it. So sometimes it's not the perfect platform, but by heck, it's convenient, isn't it? And we just need to be patient. So there's the perfect. Thank you, Laurie. That's great. And Annie, how are you? Now I'll go to yours. And we'll call in a card for Annie. And, another special card. All cards are special. It's just what we make of the meaning of them, isn't it? And what you feel as you're actually seeing the card. And that way. Yes, that is focusing. The beautiful lily card. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it really does show a time of reflection, because in the back you might just be able to see there's a reflection as if it's a stained glass window. The lilies mean peace, and they are peace and tranquility and the time for reflection. So for you, it to me is suggesting take the time to reflect. Spend some time. I'm even now feeling that progress and the breathing thing that I'd shown earlier. Obviously, Spirit had a purpose for that for everyone today. So practice that. Just feel that relax, because there can be moments, the old thing, count to 10 before you react to something. Well, it is a different form of that, and it's a much better one because you actually get your body feeling so relaxed. Even in the breathing that I'm doing now, I'm feeling that. So that's what that is telling me. So use that as your special card. Come back to the time mark of, what time is it? 70 minutes into it. So note that for yourself, Annie, at 70-minute mark. Come back and reflect on that again. Okay? And thank you from Emma. You're welcome, heart. And yeah, you're welcome, hon. That's that's Leanne's line. Hey, look, it is a pleasure. I love doing this. I really enjoy connecting with everybody. It's just so much fun. Oops, 2 cards for me, both travel cards. Ha. What does that take? What is that saying to you, Laurie? So you'll share this big adventure into the last unexplored frontier of the mind. Oh, I love it. Look, and it's a place that no one else has any control of but you. And especially in the times that we're experiencing right now, of having the closed in restrictions being so, I mean, many would say invasive, but I think really that the big story of it, whatever source it is we believe in, Mother Earth, God, Great Spirit, it's almost the alternative to the floods, the Noah floods way back. There is a big reason for having this almost as a realignment, and you'll see, read, hear of many interpretations of what is happening, and it's all each and every person's different understanding of what is happening. That's why it's so important to do the exploration ourselves, those frontiers. Start to move to that space that you can understand for yourself what it means for you in the bigger picture. So, have a wonderful journey in that. Oh, you have a daughter already. Thank you. Getting her a kitten. That's a fur baby. Oh, how wonderful. That's lovely, Ashton. Yeah, I do see the 3 there. So thank you. Thanks for asking. Yeah. A card with the question, what next? So for Donna, we'll just do that. And I might have to leave it again, so leave it soon as well. One of the things, it's a bit horrid. Oh, you got 2 cards. And I'll explain that in a minute. Oh, okay. What next? Right, Donna. I don't know if it's something that you're doing, but be aware of what's happening around you with the what next in whatever it is that you're planning to do. Just be wary. I'm just getting a little warning with this one. I love the mouse card. I think it's a wonderful little card because it actually does have, just move that over a bit. I'm a bit crooked, aren't I? Because it does have wonderful amount of resources. You can see the abundance that's in there. But whatever you have next, it is in the realm of increased abundance, but it's also with that warning of behind the scenes in those dark corners or whatever, there is others who are stealing and taking those resources from you as well without your knowledge, without your knowing, without your permission. And in some respects, wrecking what is the structure of what you've been putting together. So just be wary of that. With the awareness will also come the wisdom of how you're actually needing to deal with that, because these birds aren't just communication, they are communication with wisdom. So because the owls are wise beings, and you need to be listening to your own intuition around this and moving forward with that as part of your own guide around how you deal with the what next. There will be something that you're needing to communicate, I feel, with what you're going to become aware of that needs dealing with. And it could be today, it could be in a week. I'm thinking it's something that you don't delay too long, okay? Just have that awareness around you, okay? Just that little warning. I think the abundance, it's not a dire circumstance issue. I'm not feeling any warnings with that. It's your awareness and having to deal with it now. Otherwise, it could grow into a bigger thing, okay? So that one was for you, Donna. And we go now to Karina. And it's your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Karina. Isn't it lovely to celebrate our birthdays? So as much as Most people don't remember their actual births, but it's lovely to celebrate being alive. We shouldn't really even leave it to being one day a year. It should be absolutely every day that we're alive, especially after, yeah, yeah, the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So here we go. What you've got. Oh, the stars. That's a beautiful card to have for your birthday. Look, wish upon a star. All possibilities are there for you there, Karina. And I've got a dog walking past. People with a dog walking past. So wish upon a star. It's your birthday. Make all things come true. It is possible. Just put your focus where your energy flows is where your focus is going to be, or where your focus is, your energy flows. That sort of saying. So do move with it. Do see it, because it's going to be that bright star that you will follow, and it will be the one that is within your sights as your passion, that feeling of I love doing this, I want to move forward with this, and take it as your gift for your birthday. Yes. There you go. Nope, not at all. Oh, see, because I can't remember how far back that was, what that was referring to. So sorry, Karen. Yep. Um, Sonia, yes. I don't even need to pull the card there. I'm getting a definite yes there. So, and a happy birthday from Emma. That's lovely. And hiya, will I be successful if I work for myself? Think positive that it will be. And even if it doesn't, there's the lessons and the challenge. But is it really success that is the goal, or is it just the experience of working for yourself? And is it just a job that you want to create for yourself, or is it a lifestyle? There's so many different questions to ask when you start being in business for yourself. I know that experience. And as at the end of it, I'm just wanting to do everything just because I like to, not because I've got a business focus. That's just the way it is. And here we go with the magnifying glass and all those questions that I just asked of you. It's looking at why are you wanting to work for yourself. If you're currently employed and enjoying it, just question for yourself and look more detailed the reasons why you're wanting to. Okay, and that's a quick answer for what you're asking. I do know that. Now, so thank you for asking though. Now, I do need to finish off very shortly, because as we are physical beings, we also have some physical needs, and I know that there's a little room that's going to need me shortly. So I'll just answer this one. Yes. So, Darlene, I do understand that, because what I moved away from was the hometown of where my ex-husband was buried yesterday. So it is a big decision, but I knew for me that was part of what was my own completion. I do have a new partner. I was divorced, it was 8 or something years ago. So, yeah, it's slightly different background to it, but it's still, any type of change like that is big. So I do feel for it. So thanks from Karina. Thank you. Now, Jen, what have you got here? Whoops. You deleted your first request. Hopefully it worked properly. Well, the thing with the request with this too is, even if you've typed it, it's straight away in my stream, and when you delete it, it doesn't delete from what the BeLive has picked up. So anything that you will type in that comment section, if you've changed your mind, I don't know that. So you've got it answered as it was in the first one, if that's the one that I'd answered to. Okay. So there you go. So take that exercise, just to reiterate, take yourself into that breathing, that relaxed breathing technique exercise, and see what you come up with as your own answers, whatever spirit thinks you need to hear the most. Be prepared to listen for the answer. Too often we are almost predicting before we've heard and given space of silence to hear those answers. And I mean silence that you're actually intending to hear what is being given to you, or see or feel, or whatever the way that your spirit guides are going to show you, or your loved ones from the other side. It could be a connection direct with spirit on the other side, as far as loved ones. Doesn't necessarily just mean your spirit guides or your angels, because they're all different. Okay, so one for life, one for love. Okay, did you get two? See, I can't remember even. Once things have moved on, that's what they've done. They've moved on. For most psychic mediums, that is what happens. We don't remember specific readings very often. Sometimes it does, but most times not. So even in this instance, it's only been within an hour. It can mean I've already forgotten. Ask my kids. I forget things 5 minutes later. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here to everyone, but I feel that I am going to need to go. I'll just answer this. I wonder if you're pregnant. Am I pregnant? Oh, is it month or next month? Body's craving funny things. What do you feel? Look forward to the surprise, and when you actually have it confirmed, then you'll know you're pregnant. I know that there was a friend of mine who, the moment she conceived, she knew that she was pregnant. Not all of us are as in tune with our own bodies to that degree. Was she in tune with it, or it's just something she just knew? Or did she have a connection with spirit? We're being spoken to in so many different ways all the time. We've just been trained out of being open to how we receive. Be prepared to receive. Have the intention to receive the messages. And if you want to turn it off, just ask them, look, can you stop for a moment? You know, that type of thing. So feel into it. If you're craving funny things and you feel you're pregnant, it's likely you are. Go and get it confirmed. The tests show up pretty quickly these days, don't they? And both seem to be about business. Perfect message. Oh, thanks, Donna. That's good. Well, thank you. And Karina saying thank you. And thank you to you too, Veronica, for that. And I'll just do this one last. Did I read it? Oh, yeah. So that was that one. So that was a copy paste. Thank you so much. Look, if you feel that these shows are beneficial to others of your friends who haven't been here or seen what I and Leanne do, normally we're together, that what we do is worthwhile, do let them know. There is a chat bot set up for this channel. I'm not sure if it's for this page. If you type in 8, I've forgotten to mention that to start with, because I always forget that sort of detail. And I will put the connection for my card reading course that's going to start next Monday night. I think I've chosen 7 o'clock. Look, there's always going to be times where it conflicts with something else in everybody's life. So I've just set the time for my convenience at this point. If things need to change, the next version of this card reading course will be what suits that next group that's being called to join in. I will put the 8, just like that, Emily. So just if you type that, see what happens. There might be a chat bot connected or not. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It could be for the one that is actually our June Lifestyle Psychic Wellness Expo. That's going to be an online expo for 6 hours. That's on the 7th of June. It's Sunday, the 7th of June. We're looking forward to actually presenting that, just having some stall holders. You'll see this being, or a similar one being, as in my card reading course, will be one of those similar types of notifications. There'll be, effectively, it's like an online stall holder event, like you'd go to a psychic wellbeing lifestyle expo out in the physical world. We've created that purely because we can't do that at this point in time, and it was fun, the last one we had, so we're doing it on the 7th of June. Emily, if you are interested for doing that, I'll take note of that, and actually I'll write your name down so that I do look it up. As a stall holder or as a sponsor is just having a bit of an ad space. There certainly is a fee still connected with that, because it takes time and work behind the scenes to set it up, even though we're not physically in a physical presence in a space. We are still physical inner presence, but online. And it was fun last time, so looking forward to that. So quite a few things to keep an eye on in the mytimetv.live space, quite a few things that I will be putting in my own space at Ros Boundy. Yeah, I think it's just that. Can I type that in here and does it do a link? I'm not sure how allowed it is, but I'm going to do it anyway. So that's my page, business page for the Ros Boundy Psychic Medium. Keep an eye on that one. I don't know. Oh, yes, it did send out from my time. So there you go. Oh, the card course. Yeah, I'll be putting the link for that registration process in here as part of the show, and it'll be on the Ros Boundy page anyway. I haven't got the tabs open to do it instantly. One of the things, keep as little number of extra stuff running, otherwise you get the glitchy stuff happening with the live stream. So it's why I haven't got it ready. You know, the preparedness I have sometimes with this isn't always in front. It's sometimes behind. Thank you for being here. I look forward to actually being here again next week, and hopefully it will be with Leanne. We have so much fun. So until then, be the best person you can be, because that's my sign-off that I use for my daily live streams. And they're on the Ros Boundy page. And if you do want to book at any point with me for the personalised, detailed readings, that's the direct website that I have for that. And that's also where you can sign into my course direct as well, Emily. But I have got a form to fill in for you that is probably a more rounded registration payment process than anyway. I'm going to confuse people. I'm going to stop now because I really do need to go, and I look forward to next week. So bye for now.